Hey folks, what's up? It's your boy DGL7. Today, we're getting an update from, uh, we have Corey and actually Kay Pressley here today. Now, if you watched one of our previous videos, you'll know that they were actually having some problems with people that were some gangsters that moved into their building. And we're here today to get an update on this situation. So, what's been going on?
So we were able to follow up with the police precinct. We had a meeting with the police precinct and the district attorney's office. They stated that they were going to be working to get these individuals locked up. They said that they will issue out arrest warrants on them, or if we saw them, to call 911 and they'll have them immediately arrested. We had meetings with the head of the 33rd precinct, alongside the district attorney on the phone, alongside multiple detectives, and they stated that they're going to call me in and have me point them out on a photo lineup so they can get a proper understanding of who these individuals were visually. Now, previously, over the past 3.5 years, we have spoken to detectives before. We have sent various images to them, and their officers have also been to the building and have spoken to these individuals face to face on multiple occasions, and have refused to identify or give any sort of identification as to who these individuals are to the tenants in the building who they were terrorizing. So we end up finding this individual on our security cameras on October the 18th around 5:30 p.m. with a wire cutter, a bolt cutter. He came up to the third floor and cut a bolt or a chain that was around our property, secured around our property on the third floor. And we got home, and there were fumes in the building. We couldn't barely breathe, so we called police and reported the incident to them. We went back inside, um came back down, and we ended up, unbeknownst to us, we were not expecting to see anyone. We saw the perpetrator, Mr. Christian Holden, and Mr. Corey Hightower, who is an employee of Street Corner Resources, a funded nonprofit by the city of New York. And we confronted them in regards to the crimes that they've been committing in our building. Corey Hightower, this individual who works for a non-profit that helps to curb violence in the community, I caught him with my own two eyes throwing dog feces on our items in front of our door and also urinating on our property. We saw him downstairs with Mr. Christian Holden, who is the alleged son of Christine Jordan, and we confronted them on as to why he went upstairs and cut the bolts off of our property. He knocked down our security camera on September the 8th, 2023, just last month, and right afterwards kicked the door in and assaulted my mother and put her in the hospital for 2 days. She had a concussion and a bruises due to the assault. Um, After that, he began to, pull out a shiny object. Didn't know what it was. My brother was standing there. Me and my brother were there. I immediately take it out of his hands for self-defense purposes. I immediately sprung into action. There was a shiny object. He started pointing at it. I threw it to the ground and destroyed it. And then I immediately called
Was that object ever
911.
identified, or was it just, did you ever find out what that was?
It looks like it was some sort of a mobile device. At first, I did not know what it was. It was
Okay,
nighttime and it was dark outside.
all right.
I was scared. I immediately saw a black weapon on the side of his waist, looked like to me a handgun. I immediately called police and I alerted the police. When police get there, I get there and I see them talking to my brother, and they end up putting him in handcuffs after we are the ones that called the police and were told just last week by the captain of the precinct, the district attorney's office, and multiple detectives that were there to call police on them whenever we saw them. The the police then put my brother in handcuffs. They pulled a gun out on me and they put me in handcuffs.
Did they find a gun on the other guy?
We don't know.
Okay,
They didn't. We don't know if they even searched. We don't know what happened.
okay.
So I end up in handcuffs, going to jail due to what they did. And I was actually recently on the phone with the detective 35 to 45 minutes before we saw them outside in the front. And he told us, Immediately call police if you see them. My mother had went into an ambulance due to the fumes. She was at the hospital. So I got off the phone with the detectives, went upstairs. We went back downstairs. We were working on some things upstairs. We came downstairs. We saw these individuals down there, called police. Police put us in handcuffs. Instead of arresting these individuals, who there are multiple police reports out on them, grand larceny, he came back and stole parts of the security camera that he destroyed on September the 8th. He destroyed security. He has 2 assault police reports out, one from October of 2020 when he assaulted me. It took the police precinct 3 years just to update it to an assault. They just updated it to an assault in February of 2023, and they just alerted me in September or October of this year, 2023, that it was updated. So 3 years to update it, and then an additional 8 months just to notify me that they had updated it. So this individual, Kristen Holden, and his mother, Christine Jordan, have been out here with an assault what's it called, police report out on them since February of 2023. A alleged warrant, a supposed warrant was supposed to have been issued on them. We've called police on multiple occasions against them since February, and they have not made any arrest on these individuals. They haven't took any ID. We've called and told the police that these persons were wanted for crimes and things of that sort in the past. We've given them police reports. There's wanted posters up, etc. They have not done anything in regards to arresting these individuals. Instead, they
Were
took
those
his
guys? So
police
those guys
report.
weren't arrested on that day?
No, sir. They were not
Okay.
arrested. They took his they took his ID, made a police report, and put out a protective order of protection on his behalf against us, even though there are 2 assault reports and a grand larceny report out on him. Actually, I think it's about 2 grand larceny reports out on him, as he had burglarized apartment 2F and broken the locks off and entered in there without a warrant about a year and a half ago. Police took his ID. They did not check to see if he was wanted for any other crimes or if he had committed any other crimes. They did not reach out to the detective unit, in which we requested them to reach out to, who were actually on the phone with just about 45 minutes earlier. They did none of that. Instead of that, they arrested us, and they put out a temporary order of protection afterwards. Less than an hour after they left the scene and we were incarcerated illegally, falsely accused, Kristen Jordan and Corey Hightower of Street Corner Resources went up to our apartment and burglarized our apartment. We have it on security camera, and they also stole our second security camera. So this is an issue. This is a very big issue.
I want to interject here that the chemical attack is the second chemical attack. When I came in the building, I was overcome with fumes. As soon as I opened the front door, the front entrance door, I couldn't even get to the first floor stairs landing. And I thought,
How are these fumes created? What
I
fumes?
I don't know. It was in on the first floor, the second floor, and the third floor. By the time I got to the first floor landing, I was weak. I had to call my son Corey, and then I called my other son. I barely made it upstairs. I have severe allergy, and I have a respirator that I breathe with. So I was able to call the fire department, the ambulance, and the police. When the fire department came, because I had left the door unlocked, I staggered inside. They couldn't breathe. They could not breathe. They were coughing. It's on the video. They were overwhelmed with the fumes. He had deliberately, apparently, sprayed the entire building to get us out the building so that he could come back and burglarize and tear down the security camera. And you could see that he did that. Everything is to the minute. Everything, we have it down to the minute. When he came back, when the building was empty, my sons were locked up. I'm in the hospital, and he took that opportunity. That was their whole plan. They don't work. These are men that don't work. They sit around, have illegal surveillance cameras up, and they stalk the residents, and they know you're coming and you're going, and this is how, and they think it's funny. And the police, as far for the 33rd precinct, there's internal corruption. I'm going to keep saying that because we are professional people. My sons get up and go to work. I am a student finishing up my master's degrees, and I do have work that I do. But here I am, here we are in the middle of something that we have never experienced before in our lives. And we have professionally dealt with it in many on many platforms by reaching out and doing what we could to get the matter resolved. And 3 years after, we are still in the middle of getting nowhere. I fear for my life. I fear for the life of my sons because just hearing that they had pulled a gun. They didn't pull a gun on this individual. He's walking right now. If you go down the street, he's sitting on the ledge out there, and the police said they don't know where he is. It's an internal corruption. Christine Jordan claims that she works with the police. She has told all the tenants in here. I don't know if it was an intimidation tactic to say that I am PD. I work for, but she's impersonated the police. That alone is a crime. Why have they not picked her up and taken her in and questioned her? She told the police that. She told police officers, licensed
Okay.
police officers,
So
that she
the
works
thing is
for.
that my audience, right? They're probably
Hmm.
overwhelmed at this point. They hear about so
Right,
many things going on.
right.
Do you have a particular call to action? How can they help you,
Yes.
right?
Call to
In this
action.
particular,
Yes,
right?
Go ahead.
yes, we would like to have immediate arrest of these individuals first
Hmm.
and foremost. They
Hmm.
have stalked state employees, healthcare employees, health aid employees that my mother had that were sent to her and employed by the city and the state of New York. They've stalked them, they've harassed them, they've threatened them on various occasions. These individuals have done it to various other tenants in the building. The number one call to action is an immediate arrest and incarceration of these individuals. Number
Yeah, I
two,
know Home Health Aid quit. I'd love to have her on the program at some point to tell
Yes,
her
the
about
home
why
yes,
she quit.
the agency pulled the home attendant because of the
Yeah,
violence in the building. That is
I'd
the
love to have her on
reason
the program.
why. And
Yeah,
look at that. That is a state health issue right now. I have no home attendant. I used to have two home attendants that came twice per week. I am by myself. I have health issues and certain disability limitations. I am without my assistance right now because of the criminal behavior. So not only am I impacted mentally, emotionally, but physically and financially. When they turn the lights off in here, we have to eat out. They've turned it off. Corey Hightower has controlled the lights 4.5 months. This is somebody who says he works with as a violence interpreter. I don't know what kind of violence he's interpreting, but he is an interpretation of violence in itself at the highest
and he
level.
was caught that night burglarizing our apartment and stealing our security
Yes.
camera.
So they're on camera. It's nothing that we have to make up. What is causing it not to be them to be arrested? I want the CDC to also be involved and the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene because now these two chemical attacks, as I said, the first one in 2022, is it? And now 2023, and that's very serious. This is domestic terrorism at its highest level. I'm going to say this: if I was Jewish, okay, it would not be happening. On my doors I had religious artifacts because I am a Christian, and I also had cultural Kwanzaa artifacts. He tore them down. It is, you see it playing on the camera. Okay, it could
well,
have it.
and I want to just put that out for a
Mhm.
second. And I want to give props to Jewish people on this. Jewish people stick together and work together. Black community needs to do this as well. I think that we
Well,
need to have a rally in front of the DA's office soon, and I hope that
mhm,
Black people show up for the Black people. You know what I mean? Y'all are very
exactly.
politically powerful, and
Hmm.
respect out to the Jews and their ability to work together. We need to do the same thing. And as an Asian
Exactly.
American, I have a lot of respect. A lot of the rights that we have are thanks to the Black movement. I give you so
Hmm.
much respect, and they are helping. And there are some fakes up there too, and I'm gonna help
Right.
hold them
Every
accountable.
every
So
movement, every
yeah,
movement has profited from the Black Lives Matter or even the Civil Rights Movement. But when it
right.
comes to us, we can't even get. I mean, I'm not saying it's not right. They passed the Asian hate bill, but they've not passed the hate crime bill because it's a hate crime
So
No
the
hate
first
crime
thing,
bill for
yeah,
black
for
people,
blacks.
and we
You know,
experience, according to the FBI, the most instances of hate crime in the United States out of all groups.
and
So
this is a black on black crime. But I
yeah,
should
and that
also
doesn't get the
point
attention.
out
Yeah,
that I am a West Indian woman. And there's always been, I understand, some discrepancy, in race relations with African Americans and West Indians. I don't know where it came from because we all came on the same slave ship. One just went to the Caribbean and one came to the Americas. So the foolishness that they indulge in, I don't know about it because I grew up, with a multiple different people of races in my family is very mixed. When we've married everyone from Asians to Indians and you name it. So I'm from a mixed community. So I don't know about prejudice. I had to hear the word racism for the first time in my life when I came to this country over 40 years ago. And I'm still not going to make it become a part of what I think about this country. It's a beautiful country. But until we expose the the level of which is going on in our lives and our community and get help, then the greater community can understand
So
that they too
right.
can get help.
So the
You
first
know,
thing we're asking for the rest of, and I think you said the two men were involved in this attack. Were what were their names again? We're asking for
Well,
the
it's
rest of
multiple
who?
people that have attacked us.
what's
Okay.
Kristen Holder?
Christian Holder, Corey Hightower,
Christine Jordan.
Christine Jordan, and it's another individual in the building who's assisting them with his last name is Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what's another thing? What's another thing that the people can do to help you in this case? How can people contact you if they want to find out more? If they have like some information, they have some
Yes,
resources for your way.
yes,
Go ahead.
absolutely. The email that we have here, it is let me get the email. It is justicenow474@gmail.com.
Copy that and paste it.
Justicenow474@gmail.com.
Okay. And anything else they can do to particularly help on this issue?
But we
Uh,
want to hear from the attorney.
if you know of any attorneys who can assist
Assist.
us in this case, who's experienced dealing with police corruption, brutality, false accusations, anything dealing with civil rights,
Yeah.
human rights violations, please do.
Right. And I also want to say on the night that I went and came back after the chemical attack, the police took me against my will, an ambulance over
She
to the
called for a
hospital.
burglary.
I called for a
We came
burglary.
back. She came back that night while we were in taken in with the police, and she noticed that the doors were flung wide open. The insides of our apartment were ransacked. Items were thrown all over the place, and items were also missing. We were missing a ton of different items, clothing items, shoes,
Computers.
computers, etc., that have been stolen.
Yeah.
She called the police to report a burglary, an illegal breaking and entering, and a burglary within our apartment. When the police got there, they claimed that they did not believe her. They said, "There's no way, your apartment already looks messy. That is illegal for a police officer to pick and choose and determine the whole, whether a burglary has taken place or not." And the whole thing was caught on camera. So they
Sure.
illegally called a ambulance against my mother's will. She was not told that they were calling an ambulance. She had just left the hospital from inhalation of toxic fumes here in the building. So they called an ambulance. They put her inside the ambulance, but she asked why, and they said they just wanted to make sure because she looked stressed out. They end up proceeding to take her to the hospital, and she told them, "Hey, no, I do not wish to go to the hospital. I do not request to go to the hospital. Please do not do that." They illegally brought her there and kidnapped her, technically without her consent, against her will. When she got there, the hospital did not wish to release her. Um, they held her there for whatever purpose, the officer told them. And we wish to be compensated. We wish to press charges and sue the hospital, the city of New York.
I think I also heard for a second that she was denied food and water for 14 hours or
Yes.
something like this.
Yes, she was locked inside Columbia Presbyterian Hospital for 14 hours, denied food and
In an
water
isolation
in an
room.
isolation room
And
for whatever odd reason. We have no clue why.
and because
You know, they may
one of
have
the
been trying to
psychiatrists
get you ready
informed
to.
me
Is
that
this some kind of false
based on the
confession?
no.
There's all kinds of
Oh.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, and you're going with an ongoing. These are really this is real problematic. But now they have the information they can contact you at justicenow474@gmail.com. I believe that was it.
Mm-hmm.
You can go back
Yes.
and see that, and yeah, you guys can follow on this case on this channel, and or contact them directly. Right, I'm sure they'll be reaching out further on. So, anything else you want to say before I?
Well, just that, if there are other people that have gone through anything like this, reach out to us because we are stronger in numbers. We know this is not just, our fight. It's a fight of the people who are the least served And the
Sure.
only time the politicians come around is when they want to have photo ops or they have dinners or they want to be elected. But we have the power, and we have the power to come together and show the politicians by our presence and being a coalition together that they don't run this city. We do. Our vote matters. And if they don't want to talk to us now, we're going to speak back on election day and show them who
Sure.
has the power.
Now, if I could just throw in something just for a moment, just from my experience, I just want to give you guys a little bit of a warning here. Okay. The fact of the matter is that someone may contact you with legal experience or a lawyer, right? But the thing is that this lawyer, right? A lot of firms they'll pay for them to do charitable works, things like this, and sometimes they work for the real estate industry, or they may work for people connected to, right, the people that you're having problems with. You get what I mean? Then they volunteer to be a lawyer for you. They may even find a way to get paid for that, right? Yeah, through some other funds, donations, things like that, and they don't even have your interest in mind. They may actually be working for the other side. So, right, be careful about who just comes into your circle. Research the background, see who they're connected to. Let them
Right.
consult with you. Never give them the opportunity to negotiate on your behalf. Do not permit them to go to meetings without you being there, right? Yeah, they can tell you, right? You can meet with them on the side. They can give you advice. I would never give them the right to meet with the other side and come back and tell you, right? Yeah, oh, this is what they can do. This is what I can do for you. No, no, no. I'm there and I'm talking with them directly, and I want to know. There's no reason why my lawyer is meeting with them, not me.
Right.
Right? Does that make sense to you? That's just my advice. Okay.
Right.
Um,
Thank you.
thank you. Best wishes.
So, yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, as I said, we want to be safe, and we want to have back the rights to live in a country. A lot of people come here for freedom. We feel that we live here and we have no freedom. Our rights have been seriously taken away, and we want that back. I want to be able to walk in this building and be feeling safe. I don't feel safe in this building. I have a communal bathroom. That means I don't have a bathroom in the apartment. I have to go outside. So there's a lot of things that I think about, and I shouldn't be thinking that. I'm a senior, I'm 60 years old, I have a disability and other things that are going on. I shouldn't be thinking, so I'm hoping that somebody will reach back out to us, and I'm hoping we get some immediate action and immediate arrest for these perpetrators because it's long
Chemical
overdue.
attacks are very dangerous. They don't just endanger you; they endanger
Hmm.
the whole building. They endanger actually your neighbors. Those kinds of fumes can spread to people with respiratory problems in other buildings. Um,
Hmm.
you might even do an investigation. They may have really, there may have been other, maybe serious injuries off of this case. So,
Absolutely.
I'm so sorry to hear
Thank
about
you.
what you're going through. God
Hmm.
bless. All right.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank
Thank you.
you.
And anything else? That's pretty much it, right?
That's pretty much it. I just want to thank you. I want to always
No problem.
end by saying, DJ L7, you've always been on the side of the underserved and underprivileged. And it's not that we're underprivileged or underserved, but our voices are not heard unless it comes across through channels like yours.
I
Yes.
know.
And
I know
it's
what
it's
it's like.
very important to just let people know that you are doing the work.
Thank
You're
you.
not just talking, you do, and you get
All right.
results. So thank you so much for having us.
God
Thank you so
bless.
much.
Okay. Good night.
Mhm.
Okay. I just hit end stream. It